Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We're going to look at an article here that's showing that electric charging points for cars are falling as the price of electricity rises. Nobody can afford to give it away. But this is only part of a much bigger malaise. How can you force people to buy electric cars when they're so expensive to buy and so expensive to run? And also the fact that they're very inconvenient. I can fill my car up in about 5 minutes and I'll get 750 to 800 miles out of a tank. Try doing that with an electric car. So here's that article, and we'll look at the falling charge points. But I will talk about electric cars in general at the end of it. But there are more problems than you can shake a stick at. But here goes. So, a blow to electric car owners as nearly 40% of free charging points disappear from Britain's roads after becoming too expensive to offer for nothing amid soaring energy costs. Electricity has tripled in price, so this is what's happening. People can't afford to do it. Used to get them outside supermarkets. They've all gone. They'll be getting workplaces now that are starting to put charges on, or at least limits on. But anyway, the number of free charging points has dropped from 5,715 to 3,568, and this is across the country. What are they going to do when there's 33 million electric cars on the road? Because there's 33 normal cars on the road now, and they just don't have the infrastructure to deal with it. I mean, seriously, they're going to have to build 5 or 6 more nuclear power stations just to charge cars, and it's taken 30 odd years to build one, so that's a non-starter. Britain's electric car owners will have to pay more to recharge as thousands of free charging points have disappeared this year due to rising energy costs. The number of charging points that offer electricity free has dropped from 5,715 to 3,568, a drop of almost 40% in a year. This is according to figures obtained by The Telegraph. This is in stark comparison to a year ago when 1 in 5 chargers were free. But not anymore. And this is the thing. This is where electric car owners are now seeing this. Where I would take 5 minutes to go in, fill my car up, I could do 750, 800 miles, off I go. They are spending 20 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes, depending on the charger. And they'll get 200 miles out of it. And then they'll spend another half an hour. And then another half an hour. By the time we do a Land's End to John O'Groats, I'll have done it in one tank. They will have done it 5, 6 stops, maybe. It is ridiculous, isn't it? There is no need for these cars. And of course, it makes no difference. The government has got a hard-on for electric cars, but nobody really knows why. Kyrgyzstan, or is it Kazakhstan? I think it's Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has got a big oil field, and that one oil field, gives off more greenhouse gases than the entirety of Britain. You could close Britain down tomorrow and it would make zero difference to the world. Zero. Nothing. And yet the government keeps pushing this thing that by 2035, every car on the road, every new car on the road has to be electric by 2030. You can still sell normal engined ones, but they have to have some electric capability. But up until 2030, you have targets. Targets like 22% of electric cars sold next year. I say all cars sold next year, new ones, 22% must be electric. You can't force people to buy them. What are you going? Oh, you must sell these, or we'll fine you. So that means that they'll sell a car. They go, how many electrics have we sold this week? Oh, we sold 9. Crikey! Then that means we can only sell 30 normal ones or whatever. They have to look at their percentages, and if they haven't sold enough electrics, they have to stop selling normal ones. And when you're telling a company it cannot sell its goods, that means it goes bust, the supply chain goes bust, people lose their jobs all the way up. It's a madness. You're committing economic suicide to push an agenda that makes zero difference. Because while China is opening up 6 coal-fired power stations every week, and while Kyrgyzstan or Kazakhstan, whichever one it is, can't cover their oil field. It's madness. And yet they are determined to go ahead with it because they're bastards. They're thick, they're stupid, they're ignorant, they want to look virtuous, and they're obeying their global overlords, and they haven't got the ability. There isn't the power generation in this country to power 30 million cars. And on top of that, they want to make everyone's houses all electric as well. Well, that's another 30 nuclear power stations, so good luck, because there's no way you can power Britain off wind, sun and water. It needs big power, and that means nuke, and that means 30 to 40 nuclear power stations to be built in the next 10 years. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. So that is why the likes of me have gone and put solar on their roof with a battery system, bought a lifetime supply of coal, and got 2 generators, because there's no way I'm sitting in the dark when everything crashes and burns. But the government keep doing this. They keep putting green levies on this and a green tax on that. You're paying so much more now for gas and electricity because of this green tariff. You can't afford to heat your home. And yet, it makes zero difference. None. Nil. Nada. Nothing. Get the government to show you what percentage of closing down Britain would make to the world. They won't publish it because it is so small, it's embarrassing. And yet they're taxing you to hell over it. Makes you wonder why. And it makes you wonder who is making a fortune out of this shit. Because you can guarantee somebody is. Anyway, I'm stopping there and coming up. Do you know, I'm convinced it's all part of a bigger plan. If your car is electric, they can control your range. They can keep you in certain areas. You won't be able to travel as far as you want because you'll have travelled too far. And they'll say, oh no, you can't put any more fuel in. You can't charge up yet. You must go home. And when they do the same to your house, they can cut you off if you post the wrong message on social media. You see, this is the point. They will be able to control you. This is why, of course, they're getting rid of landlines. All future installations of phones will be web phones. And that's because if they wanted to cut your phone off, they have to physically go to an exchange. But when it's a web phone, it's the push of a button. So when things happen, they can cut communication links. They can turn off your power. You can't watch television. You can't phone anyone because they've just cut the phones. Nothing. It's control because of what is going to happen next. And I'm pretty sure that we need to fight it because the globalists are in control and we need to stop them. And that is why this electric car con is going on. It makes zero difference to the planet. And we know there isn't a climate emergency. Because if there was a climate emergency, they'd ban private jets. But the elite ain't having none of that, are they? I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, leave a like, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, never give up your internal combustion engine, and goodbye.